Thank you very much, Matthias. It's nice to be talking to you again. Unfortunately, not in 3 dimensions, but at least 2.
I trust that you are in your headquarters.
Absolutely. Actually, I've been to Stockholm yesterday, but now I'm back in Germany.
Okay. So please, Sebastian, go ahead with your presentation. I will be back for the Q&A.
Yeah, my pleasure. So actually, we call the presentation Bentley's Route to Success, and I will present 2 parts of it. One is the route that we've taken so far, and then I'm also going to give you an outlook of what's there to come. So Bentley's been founded by serial entrepreneur Lars Dunanvetter, who is a Swede, came to Germany 50 years ago, being an employee of Gambro for 10 years, and then he left that group of companies and started founding his own companies. In a total, it was 13 medical device companies, and Bentley was the 12th that he founded in the year 2009. Lars, in the meantime, is 83 years of age. He's still amazingly fit, but we're in the lucky situation that he has 2 bright daughters, and the younger one of those has just taken over the position as the chairwoman of the board of Bentley Endovascular Group AB. The company is operationally led by this team. So we have a team of 6 directors reporting to me, and 2 of them are also in the C-level of our holding in Sweden. And here we already have something special that all of them are very long-standing with the company, and that shows that we mostly promote internally because we want to keep the knowledge that we have. Now, what we're taking care of is vascular diseases. It's a disease of age. So when we get older, we not only get wrinkles in our faces, but we also get our arteries to be not that stable anymore, which can lead to ruptures or to stenosis, so blocked vessels. And it's a disease that needs to be treated because a ruptured artery could lead to death, or also a stenotic lesion could lead to an amputation. So to treat them, in the past, there was only the conservative treatment, meaning you'd change your lifestyle, you eat healthier, do more sports, and take some medication to bring down blood pressure or thinning your blood. However, none of those measures would lead to a turnaround in the disease. It only slows down the progression. So you might one day still need treatment. And in the past, this was only possible to do it in an open surgical treatment, which can be very invasive, especially if it's, for example, the aorta in the abdominal area of our body. So for those patients, luckily, a new technology has been developed in especially the last 15, 20 years, which is the endovascular surgery. So you enter the body, the vascular system, through a very small incision, and then under X-ray guidance, you follow the catheters you use, and you do the repair from internal. Now, those patients can, in very often of the cases, can go home the next day after the treatment. And like this, we are now seeing that more and more hospitals are getting the technical equipment to be able to do those kind of endovascular operations under very high resolution X-ray equipment. And like this, there is a trend of more and more surgeries being shifted from open approach to the endovascular. So that leads to a growth of our market, certainly also underlined by the trend of an aging population, because as said, it's a disease of age. Now, what you need to treat those patients is usually also stents, and Bentley is really focused on the development of stents, and a certain subcategory, it's the covered balloon expandable stents. This is the backbone of our success. We're the only company globally that is able to offer such balloon expandable covered stents in a size range from 2.5 millimeters diameter, so really, really small, up to 30 millimeters of diameter. But this is not the only reason for our global expansion. It is also that we are offering services around our products that are well received by our customers because they can rely on a very high delivery reliability. We see that in this chart here. Despite our constant growth, which is the green line, we managed to supply our products with a very high delivery reliability, shown here in the blue line, meaning that in average, 98% of our orders that we receive are shipped the same or latest the next day. And like this, we've been able, since we launched our products to the market in 2012, 2013, to expand globally. We're now active in more than 80 countries worldwide. Blue is showing the countries where we work through exclusive distribution partners. Yellow are the markets which we are nowadays doing direct with own sales representative in the countries. Here we see the growth that we enjoyed. As said, we've been founded in 2009, but our main growth driver was launched in November 2013, so it's exactly 10 years, and we've been enjoying quite a nice growth there through indirect distribution, but also direct distribution, which we are now having in 6 countries at the moment. The growth that we had was noticed also by some magazines. So we have quite a big magazine here in Germany. Oh, seems I lost you. Hello?
We're still here. We're just not seeing your presentation.
Yeah, me neither. Give me a second. I'll reopen it. Sorry for that. PowerPoint just crashed. But I do remember on which slide I was, so we can return to where we were. And I will already, while opening it again, tell you the story about it. So there's a famous news magazine in Germany called the Focus magazine, and every year they're analyzing which are the fastest growing companies of Germany in different sectors, and they are looking at a 3-year time slot there. And actually Bentley was awarded as being the fastest growing medical device company in a time range of 4 years, in which we enjoyed a compound average growth rate of 44%. So yeah, they award for a 3-year cycle in which we had a 45% growth, which grew from 10 million to 30 million of revenues, from 45 to 120 employees. But then if we add another year to that, we had even for 4 years a growth of 44% on average. Now, that was not the only award that we won. We also won a prize as the German Mittelstand. And then 3 weeks ago, we've been awarded, our founder, Lars Sunanwetter, and I, as Entrepreneur of the Year in the category of innovation for Germany. But also we took the overall win in this award, and will be representing Germany now in the global award in next year, June, in Monaco. So the growth that we've been enjoying the last 5 years continued, still at quite a nice pace of a CAGR of 23%. But which is nice is that we're not only growing, we're growing profitably. So we've been enjoying profit margins of EBITDA 30% and above. And we're not done yet. We are only having a small portion of the market share globally yet. We've become quite a strong player when it comes to endovascular treatments of the aorta. However, there are also treatments in the peripheral area, so this can be the legs or the hips. And there we're still having a lot of room for expansion, and this is an area that we will be targeting more. While it's usually the vascular surgeons who are doing the complex aortic cases, it's more interventional radiologists, so a different customer group doing the peripheral area. And to get access to this group of customers, we were looking for a kind of a door opener, a very attractive product that has clear differentiators from competition. And that's why we did our first acquisition last year in September, to acquire a highly innovative crossing and re-entry catheter that can open completely occluded vessels, that has been developed by a startup company in Israel. Here you can also see the marketing strength of Bentley. We acquired a product called Go Back. We renamed it to Be Back because all our products start with a BE from our name Bentley. And then we quickly had the thought, well, Be Back, isn't that Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, I'll be back? And so we made a claim, you'll be back, and started to promote it with a lookalike of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that was noticed by our customers quite quickly. We did a second acquisition in the meantime of our most important supplier in Switzerland, the company Qmedics, which is a very important part of our supply chain. And we wanted to make sure that we have access to whatever we need to continue the growth. However, we are always quite careful when we're doing acquisitions. Just because we made our experiences. I'm in the medical device branch since 29 years, and I've been part of quite a few acquisitions, being on both sides, being acquired and acquiring. And actually, most of those acquisitions had something in common. It was always the plan of management that 1 + 1 would result in 3, but very often it turned out that it resulted in 1.5. So for Bentley, we derived learnings from those and set up guiding principles for acquisitions that we always stick to in case of acquisitions, and that will hopefully warrant that we will have better experiences. Now, looking forward, we continue to follow our growth path, but we also continue to set up a stable organization. We are convinced that nowadays a strong backbone of a growing company needs to be IT. So we are therefore making sure that we are having completely interlocked systems, and we are currently installing a huge range of new softwares that are all interlinked so that we have the ability to have access to data and communication and communication path like workflows even at our fingertips when we are traveling. And then on the product side, we realized that many of our products are being used in such off-label procedures where physicians are using them in treatments where they have not been designed for, but where the physicians believe they will work in and on their responsibility are using those products. So as we realized that this has become a major part of our products, of our sales, we came up with the ambition that it shouldn't be the responsibility of a doctor to decide what a product can be used for. So therefore, we started studies to show the safety and efficacy of our products in those users. And we are on a good way to become the first company globally to get the indication for those treatments that have evolved in the last couple of years and made treatments of very sick patients possible. This will clearly distinguish us from our competing manufacturers and will at the same time be a safer basis for physicians that no longer they have to judge what a product is suitable for. At the same time, we're also investing in the launch of new products. We're developing dedicated products for certain applications that have the power to shorten operation times by quite a significant 20 minutes, which means that you will have to give less radiation and contrast media to a patient, but it also means a lot less radiation to the OR staff who are undergoing those X-ray operations on a daily basis. And then thirdly, we're looking at growth by expanding our global footprint. We're still lacking the markets in China and the US. We don't have access to those yet because those markets demand for national studies that have been performed in the country. They are simply saying that even if you have implanted 300,000 of your products in Asia and in Europe and Middle East, that doesn't warrant that it will also work in our population. So therefore, we conducted a study in China, and we're about to start a study in the US. It has been approved by the FDA already, and those will give us access. It's, however, a very lengthy process. We started in China to prepare the study in the year 2016. We finished enrollment, we finished follow-up. We're submitting in the very moment to China, but it will be the year 2025 before we will get the registration to sell our products. So we're looking at a 9-year process, and in the US it will be a 7-year process before we can start selling in the year 2027. This, however, will give us access to markets we don't have access to yet. And whilst we have been able to grow our market share in Europe to around 25%, we're really still at a very low starting point in Americas and Asia Pacific. So therefore, we see huge potential to continue our growth, and that's what we're preparing for. We're currently manufacturing about 100,000 stents per year here in our facilities, and we're expanding the capacities to be able to produce more than 300,000 products per year in the future. And for that, we're setting up the infrastructure. We are building new company sites to have the production. We are also at the same time, we have just acquired land that will give us the possibility to construct a campus over the next couple of years, and that shall ensure that we're having a paved road to continue the strong growth that we've been able to enjoy so far. With that, I'm at the end of my presentation. Well, nearly. Matthias mentioned it. We are preparing for an IPO. We always say that we are planning to do it in the Swedish winter, if market conditions allow, and the Swedish winter can also be long. I saw it yesterday myself, how much snow there was in Stockholm, but we've already completed our pre-IPO, in which we took 3 investors on board as new minority shareholders. So the family and the management together continue to have the majority of the shares. But we're very happy that we've been able to sign up with AP Møller from Denmark, the institutional investor or family office standing behind the Maersk shipping company. We have also taken on board Bonit Capital, the family office of the family Lexell, who are standing behind the company Electa. And we have Keensight Medical, a PE investor who's very much focused on medical devices and has the ability to support us in our way of expansion towards the US. So with that, I'm really at the end. And Matthias, I believe we do have a few minutes left for questions.
Yes, thank you. We do. 12 minutes, I guess. And if we start off where you ended, you recently communicated the 3 anchor investors. How have that news been received in the market?
Well, actually, we took our time to do the pre-IPO to make sure that we're finding the right ones, because we were not looking for stupid money. We were looking for smart money that can really support our growth plans. And we are very happy with the ones that we found. Bonit, as said, they have built up the Electa company, a very successful medical device company, which they successfully brought to the stock market, which they successfully brought to the US. 2 things that we have ahead of us. So we'll be benefiting from the expertise there. We are also benefiting from Keensight, who are very much focused to medical devices, who are scanning the market for us. If there might be further additions of inorganic growth to our company. So that for us is a good move. And we're also seeing in the market that we have been able to really contract also with AP Møller, very well reputed investors. That also gives credibility, because certainly they took Bentley through a due diligence and came to the conclusion that it's worthwhile to invest in us.
Yes, thank you. And if we move to the fever and bever, when do you expect top-line results from the clinical studies in fever and bever patients?
Yeah, so this is also quite a lengthy process to do such an indication expansion. It's also quite uncommon for products that are already on the market then to later expand the indication. It's actually harder to do that than to bring a new medical device to the market. So as said, it's a lengthy process. We started in the year 2000 with it, approximately 2019 even, and we're looking to get the indication in the year 2025. And that will then also already be brought to the market and should show its result.
Thank you. Let's see if we have any questions from the audience. We do there. Let's see if we can get the microphone up. Go ahead.
Could you just reiterate the advantages with your products as compared to what is already on the market?
Yeah. So actually, the field of doing those kind of operations is relatively new. And when Bentley entered the market in 2013, we were only the 2nd player globally with such a product. So it was a monopolistic market before. In the meantime, there are 6 companies offering this kind of products, but Bentley has become the market leader in the majority of the markets globally. And that is because our products have different advantages. The thing is, when you're designing a stent, it's always a trade-off. You need a stent that is very stable, but at the same time, it should be very flexible. So you need to always find the balance in between those features. And we've been able to find a balance there, which allows the physicians to use the product in the way they want. And at the same time, we are also very small in diameter in the crimped state. So the moment you enter the body, which offers advantages and is a reason for the physicians to set on the Bentley stent. But then even stronger differentiators will come once we have the indication in 2025 and once we are launching the new products with new features, shortening the operation time also in the year 2025.
Thank you. Any other questions in the audience? Yes. Go ahead, please.
Yes. So about the acquisition of Q-Medix, I wanted to ask the products that Q-Medix had. Will you integrate those, or have you started to strategize about what you will do with those products and how they fit in your product umbrella?
Yeah, I know this voice. Hello, Herman. So actually, we acquired Q-Medix purely for the fact that they are manufacturing 70% or 80% of the balloon catheters that we need for our products. And at the same time, we were responsible for 70-80% of their revenue. So we simply wanted to make sure that we have access and control over this most important supplier to ours. However, Q-Medix had developed their own range of products, which they had started to sell under their brand name, which have been balloons and also a coronary stent and peripheral stents. While we directly decided to stop balloons and coronary stents because there is no margin anymore you can earn on those products, we first had the intention to make the peripheral stents Bentley products to complete our offering to interventional radiologists. However, also there in the meantime, we had to find out that unfortunately market prices don't allow for a production in Switzerland. And we have therefore decided in the meantime to adjust Q-Medix setup to become a pure manufacturer, not anymore a pure manufacturer of parts for us, not of finished medical devices. So we are therefore currently transforming the company to become this manufacturing oriented company, and we unfortunately have to let go approximately 30% of the staff. So we're downsizing from 105 to 75 employees. But this will put us in a position where we have a strong basis for the future growth. Q-Medix is moving to a new site at the moment, which is one of the biggest clean rooms of Switzerland. It offers us exactly the growth capacities that we need over the next years.
Very nice. Hello, Sebastian. Yes, and you will hopefully recruit the first patient in your US trial soon. Are there any quirks to the recruitment and the planning of the study in the US? As I understand it, it's very specialized center, so maybe patient recruitment is harder or easier. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, well, most of the time the bureaucracy is what just slows you down. So we got the approval of the study in June this year. We got a conditional approval for 30 of the 102 patients. Last week or the week before, we got the full approval for all 102 patients. So that was a good news that we received. However, since we got the approval in June, July this year, we needed, or our partner Cook needed, to set up the clinical contracts to doing the study. And this is a very lengthy process. And from the 34 centers that should participate in the study, the first 4 have now gone through all the contracts and have been initialized. They are now scanning for suitable patients. And as I heard yesterday, the first patients have been found. However, now a custom-made procedures needs to be produced for them by the company Cook. That will take 4 to 6 weeks. So it will be January before we will enroll the first patients into that study.
Okay, and last, so you launched the BBAC catheter earlier this spring. How can you share anything about how the sales process is going there in the US, and have you been able to translate your knowledge of? I know you have sales in Canada. Have you been able to translate any knowledge from your sales in Canada to better penetrate the market in the US?
Mm-hmm. So actually, the BBAC has been launched under Bentley brand in January this year, and we are continuing to expand. We continue to add new countries where we can distribute the product to. We are also distributing it in the US. It's the first Bentley product that has US approval. However, we don't have the distribution set up for a direct sales operation in the US. And we can't do that for just a one product. It doesn't justify an old sales force. So we've been looking for a distribution partner to cover that biggest medical device market of the world, which makes up approximately 40% of the global potential. And we found one. We found a very strong partner for that. We're currently still in the administrative processes to make them a distributor, but during the year 2024, they will start to distribute our product through their sales force, but under our brand to US physicians, and that will lead to a strong growth in that product as well.
Okay, one more. Oh, you were done. Okay.
I just wonder what sort of average gross profit do you expect in the near future?
Yeah. So we need to be careful as a company that is planning to be listed in the future about forward-looking statements. So I need to ask you to understand that I can't be too detailed on that. However, we've been growing strongly and very profitably in the past, and we plan for the future to always fulfill the rule of 40 in the next 5 years as well, meaning combining the growth rate with the EBITDA rate shall result in a figure higher than 40.
Okay, thank you, Sebastian. It's not every day I speak to the Entrepreneur of the Year in Germany. Thank you so much for your presentation, and good luck going forward.
Thank you very much, Matthias. A pleasure as always. Take care. Bye-bye.